Hey everybody, time once again to do some retro CSS battles, daily targets from November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of 2023. Let's get right to it. You can check these out on CSSBattle.dev if you've got a Plus membership. I feel like this is a single template. So let's put this element right where it needs to go and only cover the area where the yellow is. So basically we're creating a square. 3, 4, 45, let's say. 7, 8, 9, 88, 87, 87. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 200, 210, 210. Okay. So to me, the thing that stands out is a conic gradient. I mean, I think this is just two conic gradients. And the first one I'll do is right in the middle. It's a conic gradient. It's the little square poking it. Conic gradient. It's going to be at some 30 pixels by 30 pixels. Is that it? I'm not sure. But will be transparent, 75% around, and then it's going to be this dark color. Now you can't see that. Why? Because it's not visible yet. So there's the square. So let's move it over. So I can move that through space with the background position. And that's the number, and so is it 40, 40, 50, 50? So I'm calling that the first conic gradient, and yeah, it's a little bit of an unusual conic gradient, but that's, that's fine. Could we use percentages for the size of this? What's the height? The height is 210, so what's 80 over 210? 40 over 105. That doesn't sound like it's going to go in very easily. So let's not bother. Next is another conic gradient, which is going to be at, I don't know, 20%, 20% in the upper corner. And I'm just going to illustrate the attributes of this. So I'm going to do red, blue, just to kind of highlight, well, what is that shape? Because I want it to be as tall as these four here. And then it will allow me to repeat. But to do that, I need to get out to the width. So 200 is too wide, 170. 160, and I think that means that it's a square and it's 160. And what is that, 30% of that? Maybe not. We're going to find out. All right, so red, blue, and we need numbers. We also need the proper colors, but we'll start with the numbers. 25%, 0, 25%, or 50 rather. So in increments, 75% and 0. All right, so that's not aligning correctly, right? But it will repeat if we've got the right numbers in there. And right now we don't, unfortunately. So I think that means these at values have to be pixels. And if they're consistent with the first conic gradient, it would be 50 pixels, 50 pixels, right? So yeah, that's a nice even set. So our first number is actually, our first color is transparent, and so is our second one, or third one. And then we can put in our yellow twice to replace the blues, blue and blue, and then indeed that gives us a diff that's completely right. We put the repeat on and we've got it. We submit. Let's see if that's 100% match. I believe it is. But just because I believe it doesn't mean that it's so. There it is. Okay. not too bad. I don't see similarities that we could use there. You could also obviously put do this same background on the body, but then you would need to black these out in some way because you do need the repeat. So you need also, either another kind of gradient covering, which would then change several of the numbers in the existing kind of gradients, and you need borders, and then you need margins, a lot of ifs, ands, or buts. Minify, crunch it down a little, and resubmit, and we're done. Presuming we get back 100%, we'll move on to the next one. All right, that's great, and that's a higher score I've gotten in the past, so I'm happy with that. Oh, and this one, I think I remember this one. That is so, I mean, this is a glaring kind of gradient to me. Conic gradient. And it's those colors, 25% or 90 degrees, and then it's this dark 50%, and then we've got the red, 0, 75% or 270 degrees, and then lastly the light yellow, 0. Then we do that. We're going to put some margins on this element. So let's start with the first margin number to make it lower. 725. Sure. 1, and then 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Sure. And then what? 160? No, that's not right. So, 66. 66. 7. 69. 68. Is that the thing? I think it is. Okay, so we have two choices. We can do a clip path or we can do another conic gradient. I feel inclined today to clip path. Okay, clip path, which is 4 points, right? I mean, it's a very straightforward 4 points. What are those points? Again, the points are around the element, and you can use pixels. I could use pixels, so how many pixels over and then down, and then how many over and down, and over and down, over and down. But I can also use percentages, and I think that's dead center, given what I see of the clip path and the diff. 50% 0 is the top middle. 100%, 50% is the right side halfway down. 50%, 100% is the bottom center, and then we already have a functioning clip path there, and then 0, 50%, and that's our shape. Full points. Now, a little bit of wiggle room there. Let's adjust that so we don't see that wiggle. There we go. So that diff was just significant enough to make a difference, and it was an even number change, so we're happy with that. That's 100%. A unit replace and minify. I don't think we have any units to replace because we're all percentages and unitless units. And that's it. Super fun. Submitted, and we've done better than we've done in the past, so I'm happy with that as well. And let's move on to the final one. Now this is an interesting one. Can this shape be done using only border radiuses? Let's find out. So set a background on the body. Let's set that to pink. And what do we need to do to move that into, I kind of feel like we need to set a width. whether we do a display flex or not, it's just going to be easier to deal with if we do that. 8, 9, no, 7, no, 8. And then let's do the top 100, 6, 7. Okay. How about 85? Okay, so if we do the right border radius, which would be what, 100 pixels, 0, 10 pixels? Is that it? Something like that. How about 20? Sure. And if we do another one, where does it go? So for the second one, let's scale -1. Yeah, because we need to, so that's -1 and then 1. That way we get that other one, but we do need to move it up. So how about a margin? Let's just do one margin. Margin minus 100, 100, 0, 0, 50. That's the right idea. So we're using margins to push this element over. 20, 30, and 110, and 115, or 116. There it is. And then on the background, we can do a circle. Radial gradient. And it's not dead center, so it's at 50% on the x-axis, and then like 60%. And then a circle, and we'll do 10%. And then the purple. And that's kind of it. All right, what are we missing? Again, radiation is auto-completed as radiation, and it is, in fact, radial gradient. Radial gradient, and we no space between radial gradient and the open parentheses, so there it is. All right, if we can get this app to line it up perfectly, 70, 65, 56, 67, 68, 69. So 68 is slightly too high, 69 is slightly too low. How about 68.5? Not crazy about that number, but what are you going to do? 8. How about 7? 7, 8, 9, 8, 9.1, 0.5, 8.9. That's no good. That's simply no good. 6, 7, 8, 9, 200, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's better. I think that's dead center, and that way we're not using .7%. I'll take that number. Let's submit and find out if we've got it. Very pleased that the border radius manages to make that shape. It's not intuitive to me that you can have a border radius that scopes all the way from one corner to the opposite corner of the rectangular square. That's still a little odd to me, and I don't think of it first. But it's hard to deny that that's matching. That's matching according to CSS Battle. CSS Battle.dev. Super fun. All right, that's it. That is, again, November 1, 2, and 3. Those 100% matches. All new code. Didn't have to go into the old ones. Again, these are all ones that I've done before, but it is fun to kind of talk through them and attempt to be articulate about the solutions as I do them. I don't always get it right, and sometimes I speak words that don't match the code that I'm writing, which is very frustrating. I think I'm getting better at that as I do this, which is one of the reasons that I'm doing it. It's just to the practice of narrating my own code, which is fun. All right, go make something with CSS. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. And take care of each other. Let's rock out there. All right, take care. Bye-bye.